Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Ground and Pound podcast, best bets video for UFC Noche. Silva taking on Lopes in the main event. And as always, if you're enjoying the content here, hit that like and subscribe button as we talk money lines, we talk props, we talk parlays here on our best bets video on the Ground and Pound podcast. And without further ado, let's kick things off with the slam of the week, my most confident play, the one that I put the most money on every single week. And we've got a two-legger here to follow up from last week's success. And kicking things off, we have Jared Gordon, KO or decision here. I like the double method for Jared Gordon, not known for his submissions, not known for really trying to choke people out. He's looking to knock you out or beat you with volume and sprawling and brawling, and that's exactly what I think he does here in this fight. I like what I saw from Jared Gordon showing off the power in his previous fight. I think he gets it done here against Rafa Garcia. I think he's the better wrestler. I think his takedown defense is going to hold up very nicely against Rafa Garcia. He's shown he's still got power in the hands. He's got much more UFC experience, fought the tougher level of competition, and I like him here as the first leg here for the slam of the week. And for the second leg, we have Rhys McKee moneyline. I think Rhys McKee's going to get this one done inside the distance. We're just going to take him moneyline here against Cedric Dumas. We've seen with Zach Rhys that he does leave his chin up in the air at times, but he's a big 6'4" here, and I like him over Cedric Dumas. I think he's better everywhere. I think the striking is going to be much better. I think he's a natural-born finisher. If he wants to take this fight to the ground and use his submissions and his grappling, I think that would be the best path to victory for him. I could see him definitely get a submission. If you want to look at the submission prop, I don't blame you. I think Zach Rhys could definitely find the submission here. He could also knock Cedric Dumas out on the feet. Most of Dumas's losses do come via inside the distance. I like Rhys here to get it done for a second leg of the slam of the week, sitting at plus 110. I've got a good feeling about this one. Simple two-legger this week. I think we cash again for another week. And next up, you know what it is. It's the chalk parlay. Some of these big favorites here on this Mexican card parlay together here to get us even money. And I like Alexandro Costa here. Short notice, step-up opponent here. And Costa's very talented. He's a training partner of Diego Lopes. Good ground game. He's got power in the hands. He can be low volume to start off fights when he's getting his reads, but ultimately he has proven that he is a decent level prospect here in the UFC, only losing to top level ranked opponents. And I think that this short notice step up is going to do him a wonder of good here to show off his skills, maybe even get a finish. I think that he could definitely use his grappling here, show off his Lobo Gym high level black belt. And I think that ultimately if he wants to keep this fight on the feet, that he's definitely going to have the power and the striking advantage here. I do think his opponent is very, very decent in Korea. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but I just think the short notice step up is going to be tough here. This is a big step up in competition for Korea, and I do think that Costa is very talented, so I think he cashes here for the first leg of our chalk parlay. And for the second leg, we have Dusko Todorovic here, money line. We know all about Medina. Medina is one of these punch bags. He's one of the guys that they show off and use him as an opportunity for guys to get back on a winning streak or at least get back in the win column. I think Dusko Todorovic here comes in. I think that he knows that he needs to get back in the win column after 3 straight losses. He is talented. He is a finisher. He can grapple. He can knock you out. And I do think that Medina is really just a punching bag. So as long as Dusko Todorovic doesn't do anything stupid here, he should cash for our second leg here. I don't necessarily like him to get inside the distance. Medina has shown that he is very, very tough. I do think that this one might make it to the bell, but I like Dusko Todorovic here to win enough rounds, win enough of the striking. If he wants to grapple as well, I think that's on the cards, but I like him here for the second leg of our chalk parlay. And for the third leg, to round us out here to get us to minus 110 for some of these big favorites, Tatiana Suarez. I think she gets it done inside the distance here. Late finish, maybe a submission. We'll talk a little bit about her later on in the prop section. But I do think that this is really just going to come down to the grappling. With Tatiana Suarez has shown that she's a very high-level wrestler. She can get you to the mat. She can hold you down. No shame in losing to the current champion in Zhang Weili, coming off that title fight opportunity. And I think that she's going to be able to beat a woman here like Amanda Lemos, who only really carries power in the hands. I think she ducks underneath those big shots, gets the takedowns, and ultimately finds a late submission. That'll round us out here with that money line at minus 110 for the chalk parlay here on the best bets. And next up, we have one money line here to talk about. We have Jesus Aguilar taking on Luis Garullo. And I like Aguilar here. I think that he's sitting at a healthy dog money. You're almost getting 2-1 here on Aguilar. He's very, very dangerous in the pocket when it comes to throwing the overhand rights. He's got UFC experience. And Garullo, he's not proven anything to be the favorite in this one. He got knocked out by Ode Osborne in his UFC debut. The guy can wrestle, don't get me wrong. But that wrestling's going to open up Jesus Aguilar's guillotine opportunities. Aguilar himself himself can push a pace. I think Aguilar's got the better cardio, and I think that there's value here to be had in the plus 180 Aguilar here. Mexican fighting in a Mexican card in front of a Mexican crowd. He's very, very durable. He can push a pace. He's gritty. I just like him here at this plus money. If this was a pick'em, I wouldn't be so sure, but I think there's just value here in Jesus Aguilar sitting at plus 180 for one of our moneyline plays here on the Ground and Pound podcast. And obviously we have the dog of the week, my favorite betting underdog on the entire card. And if you haven't seen it already, full highlight reel tape coming to you on the channel. I'll leave a link for it in the description. And this week's dog of the week is Diego Ferreira. Full highlight reel tape, as I said. Check that one out. And obviously we talk a little bit about the keys to victory of why I like Diego Ferreira here against Alexander Fernandez. And obviously I mentioned before, you know, we've obviously got a UFC veteran here. I know that he's now sitting at, I think it's minus 110 or sitting at the favorite spot right now. I got him earlier on in the week at about plus 100. He was a bigger dog earlier on in the week. Once I got that video, I had to put that bet down, and obviously it went to a pick 'em at that point. But Diego Ferreira, dog of the week. Hopefully we can cash here with Diego Ferreira. And we got to talk props, ladies and gentlemen. I got two for you this week. We've got Jesus Aguilar by submission. We've seen in the past that he has one of the deadliest submission games when it comes to that guillotine. When people look to wrestle him, he cinches up that guillotine. I'm not sure the exact amount of guillotines this man's got, but his go-to. And we know with Garullo that he loves to wrestle. He's got that Greco-Roman wrestling background. I think if at any moment he does decide to dive for the legs and shoot for takedowns, so Jesus Aguilar is going to try to cinch up that guillotine. And I think at some moments in this fight, he can definitely have an old shit guillotine moment sitting at plus 600 here for the submission. I like Jesus Aguilar. I think that there's definitely an opportunity for him here, to get that submission. And for the second prop, we have Tatiana Suarez, submission in the second round, sitting at plus 550. I think she comes out, wears Amanda Lemos down with the takedowns. I think in the first round, she's going to, kind of not necessarily lay and pray, but beat her up, get her tired. And then in the second round, when she comes out and gets that takedown, Amanda Lemos' head is going to spin. She's going to realize that she's in a world of hurt when it comes to the ground game. She's not going to be able to get off her back. That's when Tatiana Suarez is going to pass guard, maybe get into mount, maybe get into side control, head and arm choke, and look for that submission victory. And for me, I'm picking the second round. It could be the third. I just like the fact that I think she's going to go for the finish later on in this fight here against Amanda Lemos. She's proven that she has no takedown defense and is like a knife through butter when it comes to passing her guard. And a woman like Tatiana Suarez's grappling is going to be all that she needs in order to get this one done. And as always, I have to let you guys know what's coming on the channel, what's already here. We have the full card breakdown for UFC Noche. That's a detailed breakdown of each individual fight that Carlos and I have done on this entire card. Looking forward to this Mexican card, along with the dog of the week, my favorite betting underdog, as I said, Diego Ferreira, full highlight reel tape, along with keys to victory for him against Alexander Fernandez. And also, something new to the channel, we have the super fight this week. We have Canelo Alvarez taking on Bud Crawford. Carlos did a full breakdown of that matchup, who he's predicting for that super fight over in the world of boxing. And as always, if you're enjoying the content here, hit that like and subscribe button. Excuse the crazy lighting on my face. It's early here in the UK. You know we're not used to sunlight. And we'll catch you in the next one. Hit that like and subscribe button. Peace!